Hello friends, welcome back to Aaron's Anxiety. I am your host Aaron, your personal guide through anxiety. Today we're going to talk about depersonalization, derealization. Do you have it? Have you had it? And what happens if you get it? Okay, so before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe. The more people we can fill in these things, the more people we can help together. And if you haven't already, join us on the Aaron's Anxiety Facebook page. Love to have you. Answer the 3 questions. Aaron's Anxiety family. Just do it. So, excuse me. Depersonalization is a crazy feeling. And it can be very scary and it can be very jarring. I'll get probably 4 to 5 messages or comments about depersonalization in a month's time. It's not as widespread as anxiety on the whole. So depersonalization typically will happen if you have a series of panic attacks, or you're just in a high state of awareness and fear and hostility for an extended period of time. Your body just clicks a switch and boom, everything goes down. And the best way to describe it is your subconscious mind kind of takes over for your conscious mind, and you kind of somewhat go into a autopilot, if that makes sense. So it's a defense mechanism by your brain to make sure that you don't freak out. Okay? So many people will say, Aaron, I feel like I'm going crazy. And I will have to reassure them that you're not going crazy, because crazy people don't think that they're crazy. That's what makes them crazy. They think everybody else is crazy. You're all, why don't you guys wear tinfoil hats? Don't you know the government's trying to get... You see what I'm saying? That's crazy. So, thinking about that guy's funny. So you're not going crazy, and I also want to say, because this is very important, you'll be fine. This is temporary. This is a temporary mode that your body goes in to protect you. So in some aspects, we should be thankful that our body's trying to protect us. And you should tell yourself. I tell people all the time, talk to yourself. Why are you not talking to yourself? You should always talk to yourself. And tell yourself, like, thanks, I appreciate it. Okay? I appreciate you trying to protect us. Let's do what we got to do to get through this, okay? This is the exact mentality that you have to have in order to get through it. And you will, okay? As long as you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you will. Some people, we all know, like to kind of wallow in misery. And I've had people tell me, Aaron, I've had depersonalization for years, man. When have you had enough? When are you done having depersonalization? We all had that kid in school that, got knocked down or got pushed. Just for an hour, it just wouldn't stop whining. Well, these kids grow up. And it sucks for sure. But at some point, you need to say, I don't care what it takes. I will not live my life this way. That's when you start putting one foot in front of the other and get to where you're going. So, how to tell if you even have depersonalization? People think they have depersonalization sometimes. They'll tell me their symptoms, and I'll say, no, I don't think you do. I think you either have brain fog, you can have confusion. Anxiety is a crazy thing. Your body works in tandem with so many organs and nerve endings and things. It's a beautiful system of how this works. That being said, when one thing goes off, other things start going off. I had one guy, I liked the dude, but he was telling me that he was so wrapped up in his own head that this guy's a contractor for a living. He was like, I picked up a hammer one time. He goes, and I was staring at that hammer. I could not figure out what to do with this. What does this thing do again? He goes, and it took him a second. He's like, nails, pulling screws, use it as a pry bar. See, and I was like, wow, you really got to be in your own head to forget what a hammer does. You get those when you're 2. Little plastic goes. So, but that's legit. You know what I mean? People get so locked in their own situation. So, here's how you know if you have it. First, let's clarify that depersonalization and derealization are 2 different things. Okay? They feel pretty crummy altogether, but for the most part, got a cop. See him? But for the most part, they feel kind of the same. So, depersonalization, which is the one that I kind of struggled with the most, that one feels like you yourself aren't real. Like, I feel like, okay, so like when I had it, I kept telling my wife, baby, I feel like I'm in a coma and I need to wake up. And it's that sounds scary, and don't let that jar you too much, but that's the great way to describe it. It just feels like I don't feel like I would look at my hand and be like, this is weird. I'm like, everything gets down to the brass tacks, and you're like, I'm a bipedal ape floating in space on a rock. Like, it's really bizarre. And if you have depersonalization, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, derealization, on the other side of the coin, is the world doesn't feel real. The world feels off and feels out of sorts. Colors seem weird. Sounds seem a little weird. Things are a little bit brighter. And, it just feels like you're in a simulation, and you're like you feel fine, but you feel like you're in a simulation. So, sometimes you can have those two together. I had those two together for a while. That's weird. Nothing feels real. I don't feel real. Everything feels weird. So, once again, let me clarify. If you're getting that feeling, it'll be fine. Everything's going to be fine. You will get through this, okay? How it depends is how long you take is up to you. Like I said, put one foot in front of the other. Let's get this going. So, the best ways to combat this, if we want to get rid of this, we need to start institutionalizing some of the things that I've already said into your daily life. And I'm just going to go for it, okay? I'm just going to tell you because I don't want to waste your time. I want to get you back to your day. Let's just go for it. Diet, exercise, number one, is going to help you tremendously, okay? Now, exercising, whether that's going for a walk, I don't care. Move. I don't care if it's high intensity, low intensity. I don't care. Just do something. Do something more than your daily life, okay? Whatever you're doing, add something to that, even if it's just walking. Second, diet. Diet is so important. What you eat is what you are, okay? You are what you eat. Do you remember that as a kid? It's true, okay? So, cut out things like, if this is a real problem for you, now this takes a lot for me to say this, because my inner fat kid is constantly trying to become an outer fat kid. So it takes a lot for me to tell you, but sugar, simple sugars, carbohydrates, breads, pastas, sugary drinks, sodas, caffeine, all these things, they're well, not the caffeine, but they're inflammatory. And when you inflame your gut, you have a central nerve that goes to your brain, you inflame your brain, you inflame everything. When you cut these things out of your diet, you will notice a lot, especially if you cut them out at a significant level. You'll notice that at first you'll feel drained, you know what I mean? But then you'll start having this energy that just kind of stays. You won't be freaking out because you're not the inflammation is what freaks you out. Everything's off. So cut these things out. Clean that diet up a little bit, okay? Not even a lot. Don't go full on diet. Just clean it up, okay? Get it to be responsible. Get some fruits and veggies in there. Don't constantly overeat all the time. Things happen to your body. Put you in a state. You've all felt that feeling. You're overeating. You don't want that. Second is make sure you're up on your vitamins. Go to Walgreens or CVS, wherever. Get them on Amazon. Get yourself a multivitamin. They have men's one a day. They have women's one a day. Take a multivitamin. Make sure you're topped up. Most people are deficient in several things that can create anxiety. When you're deficient in D3 or magnesium or fill in the blank, it will create anxiety in your body because things are not running optimal, okay? So, I don't have the other ones on me. I do use these ones. I keep these ones in my truck because I know I'm going to forget. I have 2 sets of magnesium vitamins, okay? I started doing this once I got off Lexapro. These ones are just nature-made magnesium. I think these are like $8. It's cheap. I have other ones that aren't $8. I have other ones that are about $40. They're called Calm. And that's a magnesium vitamin that's just, the levels are just to calm you down, okay? And they work. Magnesium, they work. And they're good. They taste good. So, Make sure you have to buy. Okay, other things. Let's down the stressors in your life. You may be saying, Aaron, this is all this mostly the same stuff you tell me for anxiety. Yes, I know. Because when you combat the anxiety, you combat the depersonalization. We need to get your subconscious brain to say, you know what, let's let go. Okay, we don't have to, we can click that switch back off. Let the conscious brain take over again. You can do that. All right, now so drown these stressors, whether it's finances, relationship, fill in the blank. Whatever is causing you problems, whatever when you lay down at night and your brain's kind of wandering before you drift off to sleep, that's usually when those stressors come in. So it's not hard to say, oh, what are my stressors in life? Your brain will tell you whenever it gets quiet. Note them, write them down, take care of them one by one. Try to come up with something every single day. So when I was in my thing every day, or I would have a list of things I knew were stressors. Every day I would say, okay, if I can fix even a little bit, one of these things, a little bit, what would I do? And that's what I did. Every day I'd fix one little thing. It didn't matter what it was. Oh, I'm going to take a vitamin today. I'll get my health in line. It's simple, okay? Keep doing that. After a few months, you'll have a lot of that stuff checked off, and then you're done, okay? While you're in the thicket of it, practice grounding techniques, okay? Grounding techniques, we need to bring the subconscious brain back to the conscious world. How do we do that? Go to your freezer when you're feeling overwhelmed or get an ice cube, hold the ice cube in your hand. It's going to be cold. Notice it's cold, it's wet, it's slippery, it's hard. All these things, note them in your head, okay? What that's going to do is that's going to bring you back to what's happening right now. I have a couple videos on grounding techniques. If you want more, just let me know. I'll be glad to give you more. Also, breathing. Make sure your breathing's good. All these things they're going to bring your anxiety down, but they're also going to bring your depersonalization down. And what you'll notice when you're healing is that you'll start to forget. Okay, so when I was in the thicket of depersonalization, if you've made it this far, this is the golden rule. Okay, this is everything, which is important because people that are going to give up on these videos early, there's always stuff at the end of these videos, and I'm just doing them in the order of operations that I feel is most important. But when I was in the thicket of anxiety, I was online and somebody had tried to help me. This is way before Aaron's anxiety. This is way before I knew what I knew now. I was a newbie in the world of anxiety. And somebody had contacted me. Somebody was trying to help. And at the time, I thought they were being malicious and they were just being a troll, but they weren't, okay? The person told me, get used to depersonalization. Accept depersonalization as your new norm because this is you now. Okay, and at first I was like, oh, that's a horrible thing to say. But it wasn't until I got through the depersonalization that what I realized what they were saying was, when you finally assume that this is your normal, your brain will let it go. Your brain will let it go, and this is now normal, and then it'll click that switch off because it now thinks that this is normal every day, and it will find its happy medium. So try as best as you can to accept the depersonalization. It's because when you're constantly pushing something away, that's when it stays. But when you let it go, come on in, bring it on. It's fine. You'll notice it'll just drift off. Okay, it just happens with a lot of other things in anxiety too. People will continuously ask me, hey, when will this symptom go away? Well, when this symptom go away? Well, when this side effect go away? It'll go away when you stop being afraid of it. The things that go away the first are the things you're mildly afraid of. Oh yeah, tightness in the chest, whatever. So I get all kinds of symptoms that people will tell me, when's this going to go away? It'll go away when you're ready to accept that it's part of your normal life, and then your brain will go, okay, let's stop worrying about this. That's why it hasn't gone away. You're constantly thinking about it all the time. So don't think about the pink elephant. As soon as I say pink elephant, all you do is think about a pink elephant. So, all right, if you found this video helpful, please subscribe, comment, share, all these fun things. You don't know how beneficial it is for me and everybody else that's kind of going through this struggle. I've kind of lived a lot of my anxiety journey now, and I feel like I'm at a crazy new place that I so can't wait for many of the people on Aaron's Anxiety and on this channel to be. I can't wait to have you guys on this side of the fence, and as long as you keep putting one foot over the other, keep climbing that fence, you will get over here, I promise. There is safety. there is peace. You just got to want it bad enough, okay? All right, friends, until next time, I love you. I hope you're doing well. I'm Aaron. You're awesome. I'll see you in the next video.